I already feel so performery, so I'm gonna start over. Just say, hi, my name is Caitlin, and if you clicked on this video, you know I'm hopefully about to embark on a journey of changing my life in 6 months. I don't know if your YouTube algorithm is similar to mine, but I've seen a ton of these videos about disappear, change your life in 6 months, change your life in 90 days. I did this to fix my life in X amount of time. And I see very few of the process behind that videos. I did manage to come across one, which is what sparked my idea for this series. And I just wanted to kind of give it a try. Here we are in July of 2025, and this is already July 11th. I've been sick the first part of July, and you can probably still hear it in my voice. For that, I'm very sorry. But I was like, I can't wait any longer. This has to go out now. It's already like 5.5 months till the end of the year. But I just thought this would be a nice chance to reset, because 2025 so far has been a pretty difficult one. I do live in Los Angeles, so if you're familiar with the wildfires that happened at the beginning of this year, that was just incredibly stressful. It's a little hard to describe, but everyone felt kind of frozen the same way I remember feeling about COVID when the lockdowns were happening. Like, do I go home? Do I stay here? What do I do? Like, it was very, do I evacuate? Do I stay? Because the fires aren't really that close. But what about the air quality? It was just it was a tense time. A lot of my friends and I texting each other, so that was nice to feel some sort of camaraderie in that. But it was stressful. And then I moved apartments, and it didn't go swimmingly well. I'm still working on, setting up my new place, and it's been months later now. But that was a big deal, because that was the first time I moved with furniture. I hired movers, and it was just, a very big to-do as well. I also had a family member needs more medical attention now, and that's been another stressful thing. There's been some changes in, I don't want to say our family dynamic, but there's just more there now. More energy has to be diverted to that. So that has also been another stress. And then my job is, I do have a W-2 job, but it is tourism based, and tourism in LA has been down this year. And so, my finances have taken a hit as well. So just a lot of things where I kind of find myself, I don't know, I don't want to make this depressing, but I have felt like I'm kind of hiding into myself. I'm getting further and further internal instead of growing and living life. And I want to get that zest for life back. And I've seen, a couple of these videos now where people are really, you have a North Star to aim to, and a nice constrained time period. Although 6 months is a long time, so I have to keep that in mind as well. A lot could happen, positive and negative. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about my background and what got me thinking about being here. And yeah, hopefully by the end of the year, things will be moving in a better direction, at least. Now, the reason I wanted to make this a series, and I hope to post, maybe monthly progress around the 6-month journey, is because one of the things that I want to work on, a lot of the advice you hear is to disappear and not tell people your goals, because in a way, once you've told people your goals, your brain kind of feels already slightly accomplished on the goal, and it's less likely to accomplish said goal. I have to take a different approach, because one of the things that I do want to work on is putting myself out there, especially on this YouTube channel. And So I'm not going to disappear and hide and do it all behind the scenes. I want to document and hopefully show what is realistically possible in 6 months. I hope, I don't have a massive following or anything. I'm quite, one of my fears is like, okay, I'm going to do this video and it'll get 5 views. That's okay too. I'm doing it, because I need to do it. So hopefully for those of you out there watching, will find some comfort in it. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Usually when I do YouTube videos, they are very spliced together. I came up, I guess, in the YouTube generation of the jump cut and making things very, I feel, more palatable for the viewing experience. There's a lot more dopamine hits and it's fun and eye-catching and funny. More recently, I've been consuming content that is slower paced. I love like the cozy vlogs that people do, and I don't know why I have such a fear that people won't watch me in the same way, because this will just be a boring talking video. So that's another kind of fear I'm confronting around just being cringe on the internet, I guess. And who am I to think that people would want to watch? I don't know. I can just sit here and talk to myself if nobody watches. That's fine. I gotta get the tea for my throat. We soldier on. I think I was so inspired watching those other progress videos from people and knowing that failure is going to happen, knowing that obstacles are going to happen. Because I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, hope that showing my journey will inspire you as well. So maybe you want to do a 6-month challenge with me. I would love that. But yeah, just to focus on being more human, less performative, less perfectionist. If you look at my whole catalog of videos, you'll see that I deal with perfectionism and just the need to, I don't know, be liked. How annoying, how gross. So here, I'm just gonna work on showing up better. And I mean, not showing up better, but just relaxing. It's okay, this is me. I hope you enjoy. So let's get into the actual 6-month journey and my goals. Of course, we had to start by getting a new notebook. Very important. Does anyone else out there just love new school supplies? Like, that was always my thing. I love notebooks and pens and yes. Back to school vibes forever. So I've got my notebook here, and I hope it'll help me keep track. I have a little note here that says, we are seeking progress over perfection. And that is going to be the mantra I try to live by. When I look at my goals here, I tend to have an all or nothing mentality in a way that overwhelms me, and I know I'm not reaching said goal that I set for myself, so I just stop. And I would much rather see progress happening, knowing that maybe I'm not going to hit that exact goal within this 6-month time frame, but if I'm still heading down that path, at least I'm closer there than I was where I started, and that should be very obvious. But sometimes telling your brain that's just different. So I categorized these goals into 4 main areas. The first one is YouTube monetization. And I've been on YouTube a while, like over a decade now, but I just never had consistency. I know. And everyone tells you, you've got to have consistency if you want to grow your YouTube channel. Yes. So I'd like to give that a real shot with this 6-month journey. I was monetized on YouTube once upon a time, and then they changed the requirements. So right now it is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the last year, which has really messed me up because I have this whole catalog of videos that I've worked on over the years, And right now, so I'm at 864 subscribers, but only 238 hours of watch time. And I try not to get super discouraged by that because I know that number has been higher before. But that's where I'm like, okay, Caitlin, then that means we have to put out more videos so that people have things to watch and we can possibly hit that 4,000 hour number. So getting monetized on YouTube is a big goal under this umbrella focus. I just want to hit that milestone. Hopefully within the next 6 months it is possible. My strategy for this is going to be, oh, she's scared to say it. I was saying I'd like to aim for 1 YouTube video a week and 5 YouTube shorts a week. I know, it's too much. But I know that's where you have to be for the growth that I'm looking to get. So that's the goal that we'll aim for progress on. Hold on, my camera's yelling at me. Okay, we'll see if that holds. Yes. So I told myself I want to leave room for experimentation as well as imperfection. I do want to keep showing up even though it's not what I deem a 100% video. And I don't say that to hopefully discourage viewers to be like, oh, she doesn't care. I do care. There are sometimes you need to push it out and get it out there rather than me just stewing on it. Because like I said, then I just won't do it. So I do hope I know this is just a muscle you got to work out. And I do hope that I can make progress on content creation again. Yeah. Also, I would love to come up with a new, different setup. Look at this. This feels so contrived, but I tried to make it cute, you guys. I don't know. The next goal within the YouTube focus is going to be to relaunch my podcast. I created a podcast called the Hungry Artist Podcast. It's interviewing other creatives so I can learn more about the industry and what people are doing and, kind of grow my own network, but also give back to the community and hopefully give some people some really actionable tidbits, especially if you're interested in the film industry. So I was really excited about it. I've always been a big Tim Ferriss fan. I knew I wanted it to be a YouTube podcast or a video podcast because that's how I consume podcasts. But that means it's made it more difficult to edit and put together and just more barriers to entry for myself. And there was a period of time where I couldn't post, and I may talk about that in another video, but essentially I feel awful. I forgot to mention this from the other one. I have friends that I've interviewed a year and a half ago, maybe more, for this podcast that I just haven't edited yet. And that's so frustrating. I feel like such a bad friend. And these poor, these great people who gave me their time. And I feel so guilty about that. And I hope that I can get this back going. I think there's a fear that, okay, but once I start, now it has to be every week. And I don't know if I can keep that up. So then I just don't start. And you see, there's that black and white thinking again. The thing I said I forgot to mention is with the YouTube videos, I have plenty of videos. I think I recorded 5 videos at the end of last year in my old place. So you're going to see a different background and you'll be like, oh, those were the old videos. Got it. I have videos ready to go as well that I haven't edited yet. And also one of them is going to be hobbies you should do in 2025. So you can laugh when that one comes out, but there's still half of 2025 to go. I think it's relevant. But yeah, so I told myself, this year was going to be the year, and I did attempt to go that route, but I need to figure out, I think, a system for making it doable, but also to gain confidence in doing it by doing it. and kind of build up that, what's his name? Tony Robbins talks about the baby steps to, again, show yourself evidence that you're going to go. This is where your James Clear Atomic Habits. Oh, I'm just putting on my gym shoes to go to the gym, but I didn't even go to the gym. I literally just worked on putting on my gym shoes. That kind of thing where you're building up the evidence for yourself that you're the kind of person who puts on their gym shoes. You're the kind of person who I don't think I explained that well at all. And now, dude, this is why I usually edit my videos so much, because what a brain, like what am I even talking about? Great. So I'd really like to relaunch that podcast and definitely immerse myself back in film industry news and how to again. Third is to expand the sources of income within this YouTube monetization route. I want to look at things like affiliate marketing. I'd love to get sponsors or brand deals that obviously will come with more subscribers and that kind of thing. But that's something I'm definitely interested in looking at. I also want to consider products, services. I have ideas, and it's just going to be about, okay, what progress and learning and implementing can we do in the 6 months? So, yeah. Okay, next. My second area of focus is my film career. And let me tell you, with this one, I'm like, wow, I've got these 4 feature film ideas I need to do, and I'm working on these 2 short films that I should be able to produce in 2 months. And, like all these, I get so overwhelmed. I'm just idea machine, and I'm not execution machine yet. And that's what I want to work on. So one thing that I've been wanting to do for literal years is write a feature script. I have quite a few feature ideas that I'm interested in doing. I want my 6-month goal to be to complete 1 feature film script. I'm about 40 pages into one right now. I signed up as part of a writer's group that I'm in. I signed up to be the next read, which is August 10th would be my deadline. And while I do work well with a deadline, I also recognize that's over 2 pages a day to get done, which, yes, as a concept is doable. But as you can see, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself to hit that. So we'll see, and we'll work on progress, not perfection. But yeah, I would really love to finish a feature film script, prove to myself I can do it, move on to the next one. Let's start banging out these script ideas. Okay. And because I'm really trying to focus on that and not get distracted by all these other things I know I want to do film career-wise, I'm going to keep it to that. I also put, I love how I just said, I'm going to keep it to that. And also, I'm putting optimized website. That's going to be part of like those products. I haven't put my own films on my website yet, so I just want to update, optimize, that kind of thing. Ooh, this next one has too many goals in it, but here we go. The third area I want to focus on is health, just very generally. And the first thing I have here is be intentional with screen time. I have talked about this before. I struggle so much with scrolling on Instagram in particular. I don't even have TikTok because I know I would just scroll on that too. Reels have me in a chokehold that I hate. And yeah, I was going to just have less screen time. I did deactivate my Instagram for about 6 months, and that was amazing. But part of this, how I said I want to show up online, I'll be doing the YouTube shorts. I might post those as reels. I'm not looking to get off social media in the same way. I need to figure out how to make it work for me. So I think more of what I'm considering is to have less screen time overall would be amazing. But also if I'm going to have screen time, to flip it to something that might be a little bit better for me. For instance, I have the Bible app. And I was like, if you're going to pick up your phone anyways, you can just look at the verse of the day, something like that would make me feel a lot better in my use of screen time. I also just heard about cloudhiker.net. This is a really cool website where you can pick the categories of things that you would be interested in and then literally just click next and browse through different websites across the internet. Just feed like a lot of them you're not going to be interested in, but some of them are really cool or just kind of spark your curiosity in a new fun way. So if you're ever looking for like prompts or things to research, I don't know, I find it I just found this one, so I don't know if I'll like keep that up, but I think it's an interesting concept to realize and remember that there's a whole World Wide Web out there. Why am I just watching like reel after reel on Instagram? I digress. We can talk about that more later. So, more intentional with screens. A big one would be to, and this is again very generic, lose fat, gain muscle. I know a lot of people like to put lose X amount of pounds. I'm not going to do that. Mainly because I don't care what the number is. I don't care what my weight is. I care about my body composition though. And I've taken a DEXA scan and I know I could already feel this, but I wanted to have kind of a starting point, which now that starting point is old. But anyways, I do have a higher body fat percentage than I might even look. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. And then maybe hopefully in one of my progress videos, I can dive deeper into that. But as part of, I'm going to have like sub goals under lose fat, gain muscle. I want to develop movement habits. I don't know why that sounded so weird. Develop movement habits. So instead of, before I would say like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week and lift weights and whatever. I've done this before. I get burnt out really easily. I get injured. I overeat because I'm so tired. So I'm throwing all of that away. That is where I'd like to get someday. Right now, at least for the month of July, my goal is 10-minute YouTube workout videos every day. 1 10-minute YouTube workout video. And we're going to start there. And that sounds so silly for me to even say out loud to you, but that is where I'm at. That is what I think I can accomplish. And I just want to develop the movement habit and then go into leveling up and optimizing. So I also have cook delicious, nutritious meals and meal prepping. So I just want to plan better with my food as well. And speaking of planning, I have an entire goal that I just want to, again, kind of check in on always, to have less stress and anxiety. I did try to turn that around into more calm and purpose. So I really want to plan and prepare more. When I've watched some other videos from people talking about how journaling and planning the day was super helpful, planning their week, that was the only way they could keep on top of these goals. And that's something that I need to work on too, which was why I also put create systems. I wish more of my life could be not like on automatic, but that I don't have to make a decision about every single thing every single time. There should just be some like pre-made decisions happening. So I'm going to work on creating systems as well. My current favorite organizational system that I use is Notion. And I've been using that for maybe a little over a year. It has a lot of fun and unique capabilities. So I'm excited to explore that more, but also just, again, wanting to set up but also like not overcomplicate. That's the thing with like using a tool like that. Sometimes you can take it too far in a way that you didn't need. So yeah, just figuring out how to create systems, something that works for me. Oh, and then finally I have get ready every day. I think, it's when I was in high school, I would not leave the house without a full face of makeup. Like I wouldn't go anywhere without my face on. And I do feel good that I've grown in the aspect of I can go without makeup places and still be okay and still feel valued as a human. That's, I think, a good thing. What's not a great thing is just feeling like a slob. I do think energetically to take a shower, put clothes on, brush your hair, not to say I don't do those things, but if I don't have anywhere to be, yeah, I'll lounge around in pajamas all day. Um, so that's just something that I want to work on, more for me to feel ready to go do things. Because then someone might text and be like, "Do you want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Here I am, I'm showered in my pajamas. No, I can't go do that. That would take way too much effort." So now if I'm like ready, I don't know, I sound like a gremlin describing this. I'm hoping this is way more relatable than I feel right in this moment because I just feel gross. What was that? Loud noises. There's like a bug in here judging me. Yeah, maybe I edit all of that out. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, getting ready every day, and not that meaning that I have to be so done up, but just feeling fresh for the day and presentable and energetically, like give myself some vibrant energy. We can take on the day. Okay. And last, oh, my camera's yelling at me again. Hold please. Whew. All right, I might have almost reached my limit here. Let's go. The fourth area that I'm really interested in exploring and focusing on is creative living. And that could be anything from like life projects to hobbies to socializing, all of that nice, lovely things. One of the big life projects that I have is, I mentioned I moved to this new apartment, and I had someone come over that said, "Oh, you haven't like hung up your things yet," because there's a pile of things that I would mount to the walls. And I was like, "No, because I need to paint first. There are a lot of scuff marks and nail holes and that kind of thing that like I feel like I need it to get like a fresh facelift, and then I'll go about decorating it." But man, oh man, me trying to like make myself go buy paint and paint it is great and going to be part of my 6-month journey. But yeah, I would love to, I just want to set up my space so that it feels calm and beautiful and makes me want to not just live here, but work here because, I will be working from home a lot, working on these videos. And I also want to be able to host people and feel good about bringing people over. And so, yeah, that is one of my big projects, is to decorate my space. When it comes to hobbies, I'm really interested in picking up kayaking. The crazy thing though is I've been saying this for, again, literal years and haven't made progress on this goal. What is happening? What is happening though is, again, the barrier to entry. My brain just can't, I don't know. But instead of just like going and renting a kayak, the place that I would like to go, you have to go to a different pool and get certified and then go over back to this place and pay for like a lesson to prove you're not going to die. And then I could buy like a rental membership and go kayak whenever I want. But wow, that was difficult to even just explain. Life is hard. But I would really, really like that. I love kayaking. I love being on the water. And I think a hobby that gets me outside and moving and having fun is just like, yes, please, I want this. Let's make it happen. Another one I'm doing is learning German. I've been doing this for a little bit now, just on Duolingo. And that's probably how I'll continue it for now, is just that daily Duolingo practice. I'm considering going the route of online tutors and talking with people to actually be learning the language, but we shall see. I just threw that in there for funsies. And then another little project that I have really been wanting to do is to make a paleontology notebook, something kind of in between like what looks like a scientific explorer's journal and a scrapbook, because I've been learning about fossils and doing some paleo digs. I want to capture that somewhere. And I'm already kind of at the place where like, no, I learned too much. It's hard to go back and put it all down, but I still think it would be cute. So I don't know. I bought myself like a composition notebook, and I mean, this is also, but like one that looks boring and scientific, not this pretty one here. And I want to, yeah, just write about different species and kind of, I don't know. It's like a little cute arts and crafts project that I want to do, and we'll see if that becomes part of the 6-month journée. And that's it. That's it, she says. That was a lot. Yeah, I am worried that I did too much. I tend to overload my to-do list. I do think that the things that I listed are doable in 6 months. Now, whether or not I stay committed to them and do them in the 6 months, we shall see. I am excited to continue this series, like I said, at least once a month, to kind of say where I'm at, how it's going, and hopefully, because that'll have some built-in accountability for me, I'll actually show that I'm going in the right direction. So I hope I have some progress and updates for you each of these months. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you want to do something like this, like a 6-month journey, I would love to hear from you as well. We can be in this together. I mentioned that, YouTube is not something I've been able to be consistent with, really. And a lot of that has to do with everything you hear about needing to niche down, and me feeling like I don't know what the through line is with my content, being afraid of, tackling too many subjects and all of that. So in the spirit of progress, not perfection, and also realizing that I have been struggling with being seen online, and that feels more vulnerable than I've allowed myself to admit. In the spirit of all of this, I want to share, I wrote a little poem while I was sick, and I'm not a poet, and this is not something I do, but it was a little kernel of creativity that I managed to make something out of. And so I'd love to share it. Okay. I am no longer curated. I am chaotic and curious, no longer aiming to be palatable, no more concerned with your perception, nor my own. I am dancing from thought to thought, from bridge to gorge, leaving a crooked, winding trail that I can one day look back to see if the pattern was maybe there all along. And if not, at least I can look at the path, follow, and say, I was here. So thank you so much for watching the start of this journey. I really hope to see you guys in the next one.